Hey everybody, Dave Brown here from Soft Steel USA. Today I'm going to talk to you about fishing the surface iron for yellowtail. As spring gets closer here in Southern California, there's one thing that all of us fishermen think about, and that is yellowtail fishing. The yellowtail fishing out here can be incredible, epic in fact, at some of our local islands, even along some of the coast here. And one of the most fun ways to fish them, at least for myself, is going to be fishing them with that surface iron. The surface iron is going to be a nice light iron bait that stays up within that real top area of the water column. You got the surface, you got the bottom. This stays up in that upper third to upper quarter of the water column, of course, depending on the depth that you're fishing. And you want to have the right setup when you're fishing those yellowtail. My personal setup, we'll talk about the gear first, and then we'll start talking about some of the line. What I like here is I've got a nice long rod. This is an 8-foot extra heavy PCH inshore rod by Okuma. And I've also got the Okuma Komodo SS. This is the 450 size. This happens to be the 7.1 gear ratio. It's a fast retrieve, but it's also very powerful. When these big yellowtail hit, you want to be able to stop them, turn their head, and get them to the boat. That 7.1, very fast retrieve. You're going to pick up almost 4 feet of line per every crank, but the key here is got 30 pounds of drag. Of course, you can fish star drag, you can fish lever drag. I like that low profile. You can cast this thing a mile, but that 30-pound drag, you can really horse that thing. And you got a big bite, you can actually crank it down, horse that fish in, and get it back to the boat as soon as possible. Now the setup there, as far as the line goes, I've got this thing spooled up with 65-pound eminent soft steel braid. It's very thin, very strong braided line, and I can get a lot of it right onto this little spool here. And on top of that, I usually fish a 40-pound fluorocarbon line. The fluorostretch is really unique because it actually has some stretch. That stretchable, you can actually, it's got quite a bit stronger knot strength as well, and you can really cinch down those knots and keep it nice and strong. You don't have any slippage. And then the real key there is when those yellowtail hit, they hit with force. The stretch of that line will actually keep it from ripping a lot of lips out of there. It takes up a lot of abrasion resistance, but then it just really holds that force too. A lot of times when that yellowtail hits, it's actually snap that line, rip that rod out of your hand, snap that line, but with that fluorostretch, it actually helps to pull up some of that shock absorption. Great little setup. That's the Komodo SS from Okuma, the PCH inshore. But the key there is that braided line. That's 50 or 65 pound, whatever you like. I happen to have 65 pound, and I've got that set up with 40 pound soft steel fluorostretch fluorocarbon line. Great setup. Get out on the water and enjoy. Appreciate y'all checking in. Thank you for supporting Soft Steel USA. For more information on soft steel products, visit softsteelusa.com.